Hey everyone, so we're working on this STI today and it's got an oil leak from the oil pump. I'll take you underneath and show you that. So now that we're underneath near the exhaust manifold, if I bring you up here, you can see that from there, hopefully, over there. So what we're going to attempt to do is take off the manifold and address that on the bottom of the oil pump. So these are the tools you're going to require in order to fix this oil leak. You'll need a 12mm to remove the under tray of the Subaru. You'll also need a flathead screwdriver or a plastic removal tool to remove the clips that hold that under tray on. Then you need a 10mm if you're going to remove the heat shield around the exhaust manifold. You'll need a 14mm, a standard socket and a deep socket in order to remove the header, so the exhaust manifold or the header. An extension to get into the tight spots of the header. And finally, you'll need a set like this with the M14, so an M14 hex bit like this, in order to actually open up the oil pump, the bottom bolt, which you'll see in the video. And finally, to seal it up, what I used was this maximum torque Permatex gasket maker. But if you prefer, you can use something like a Loctite. Just check what the suitability is when oil is in the area, so just do your own research. But for anyone that wants to know, this is what I've used, and so far it's worked excellent. As you'll see at the end of the video, it's been over 100 kilometers and there's no problems whatsoever. And finally, don't forget your container. You'll need a container because once you open that, you'll get oil dripping out from the bottom of the oil pump. So in order to take off the exhaust manifold, there's the 14mm nuts all around, so there's 3 on this side. And moving on to here, this goes to your up pipe, and there's 3 bolt and nuts over there. And looking at it from up here as well, there's the 3 bolts over there, and 1 more from the bottom. So we'll take off the exhaust manifold. It's not too difficult on these Subarus. In order to diagnose this leak, it can be one of 3 things or a combination of all of them. So the front engine crank seal, or this suction O-ring, or finally what we're doing in this video is the bottom of that bolt. So the most common is those 2 seals, which I'll do a video on a bit later on. So I'll cover that whole thing, from removing the whole oil pump, removing the cam belt and stuff like that. So in this picture with the cam belt off, you can see the buildup of debris just below the crank gear. That's a combination of dust and oil buildup from the front crank seal. Now with the oil pump off, you can see the O-ring that I was referring to. This wears down over time and it leaks from the bottom there. This is a common area where it normally leaks, covered in oil, if the oil seal or that O-ring I just showed you leaks. So this is just on the wide angle camera, just to give you a better idea of how the manifold is in place, just in case anyone needs to refer to it. There's 3 nuts on either side of the head that hold on the manifold. And here's just another look at that leak. Also, I do find that removing the heat shield, as indicated by these arrows, makes life a little bit easier to remove the 3 bolts to the up pipe. So this is with the exhaust manifold off the car. As you can see, this particular model is fitted with equal length headers from the factory. So with the manifold off the car, now you can clearly see the oil pump underneath, and you can see that leak, which will be pointed out now. Make sure to mark this bolt before taking it out, so you know how tight to go when reinstalling it. This is what it looks like with the exhaust manifold off the car. The bottom of the head where the exhaust manifold goes onto, just in case anyone needs to refer to it, just thought I'd include it here. The oil filter, the oil cooler, the up pipe, the heat shield, which is held in by those 10mm bolts, and now we've got the bolt off the oil pump. So this part is what's leaking, and it's the thread lock or whatever they put from factory has failed, hence the reason why it's leaking. I've not seen any other videos of this being pulled apart, so I just thought I'd upload this, and I hope it does help people. Don't forget to like this video as well, so more people can fix their issues as well. So I've put high temp RTV over the whole bolt just to seal it off, because the factory coating or whatever they've put on it is basically failed. So within 5 minutes of putting this now, I'm going to reassemble it and put it onto the oil pump, which I've wiped. Inspect your exhaust manifold gaskets, and if they need to be replaced, replace them. They're available from Subaru. I recommend getting the genuine ones. So just make sure this whole area is clean. All the threads are clean. And your mating surface is clean. I can't stress this enough. Do not over tighten this bolt. You will strip the threads if you do. So mark it as I mentioned earlier. This is the equal length header that I was talking about, fitted to most of the JDM WRX STIs, the earlier models equal length headers. So it's been over 100 kilometers now, and as you can see, there's no further leaks, not a single drop. So that's a successful repair. I hope you found this video informative, and I hope you managed to solve your own problems. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more interesting videos. Thanks for watching, everyone. See ya.